fails, we should be looking for bullish continuations, okay, because price is still bullish for the longest of times. We can see price is creating series of highs and lows, okay, so we should be looking at our first TP 100% retracement level. Then we could go as high as a 3433 ounce all the way to the upside. Hey peeps, okay. FX right here, the prophetic analyst. Welcome back to our channel. So this is the weekly market forecast for the 9th to the 13th of June 2025. So without further ado, let's dive into the business of the day. And you know, we always try here to predict 500 to 1,000 pips into the future. Okay, so starting off from last week, some pace in which that we took, like we're starting off with gold. You can see this is still the same gold that we were looking for, this break, this retest, and a push continuations to the upsides, which we clearly had that. Our type 1 was smashed, and signals were also being sent in our Telegram community. So if you're not in our Telegram community, please do well to click on the link on the description to join. Okay, so let's start from the weekly time frame. To know how price closed on the weekly time frame is very important, because this is going to help us on our deciding factor. Okay, so we're looking at gold here. We can see how price closed for last week. All right, with more like this hammer kind of candle facing to the downsides, and we also have a doji candle in which price has created here since way back April 21. Okay, so since way back April, price is still working with this doji candle, which more like represents a pullback, okay, or a reversal candlestick. So let's go to our daily time frame to see how price has most likely closed on Monday, because that's also important. You can see price also closed on Monday with this engulfing, bearish engulfing candle. So we go to our hourly time frame to look for the best possible areas. But mind you, from weeks before, we were able to take some very nice trades, trending all these bullish trades to the upsides, to the downsides. Okay, price has been creating series of higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so now it looks like price wish to change. Okay, you guys will get to understand this better, okay, when we keep going to like the DXY, okay, because price seems to want to change its trend. Okay, and if you're looking at the bigger time frame, just like I showed you guys, you see price is struggling to move in some zones, sort of. Okay, so here on gold, we are the base level target. Okay, we already have the zones real marked out here. We also have a trend line coming up here all the way from the upside, okay, all the way from the downsides to the upsides, crossing both areas. So these two zones, okay, these are two zones, are most likely the strongest zones to take your entry from. So we may most likely have price pull back inside here, then you can exit here, or it could even go higher. Okay, but to make sense, you exit here. Okay, if you're trading from the minutes time frame or even the hourly time frame. Okay, so we can have a sell to buy scenarios first of all, or we could even have price open into these zones. Okay, so this is, then we'll be having price come back to these levels of our 3,289 ounce to the downside. Then we can go as deep as our 3,244 ounce all the way to the downside. Okay, and that's what's working with that trend line right about there. And if price has to go bullish, okay, if price has to go bullish, let me take this out. If price has to go bullish, then we can, it will only make sense we wait for price to break off these highs, break out of that highs retest, and push continuations to our first level, which is at 3,434 ounce, and we can go as high as 3,498 ounce. Okay, so do what to mark this on your phone, your trading device. Up next is Eurusd. So because price is still very much bullish, so for the bullish scenarios, if you can be patient enough for price to break here, create a new higher high retest, and a continuation to 100% retracement level, which is at 1.1559. Okay, so for USD was also awesome last week. We were able to take this nice trade, which gave us almost a 1:3. The 100% retracement level, price even went further. Okay, I think this was as influence of a fundamental which was being released, but price closed back into these zones. Okay, so let's check how price actually closed for last week so that we can use this to decipher whatever we are doing for this week. So we can also see similarities with what happened on gold. We have price created this candle here, same 21st of April from last month. Okay, from April, so April actually 2 months ago. So that means price is still finding it difficult to continue bullish. Okay, that's why we're having series of range around here, series of multiple week rejections. Okay, so price is still respecting this doji candle in which we're having there. Okay, so you will most likely see bearish continuations to the downside. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame to see how we can make the best out of this. Okay, so for the 4-hour time frame, we have two zones right about here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this like so, and I'm going to give ourselves an upper zone like so. Then take this out. Okay, all right, I'll take that out like so. So we'll be working between or within these two zones. Okay, so whichever way price goes, using our strategy, we can always enter. Okay, so I'll start from the bullish side since price is still bullish. Break retest and a push continuations to our next level, which was our initial TP2, which is the 1.1571 area. Okay, and if price goes bearish, okay, it would only make sense I will wait for price to clear these lows, okay, this support area, and retest, and we should be targeting at 1.1198. okay, so that's about, like I always say, we predict 500 to 1,000 pips into the future. That's 170 pips plus of bearishness to the downsides, and if this happens, this is a very nice trade for us. Okay, so that's it for Euro USD. Up next is GBP USD. Working with this daily area of interest. Okay, price to break the retest and the short-term continuations to the upsides, which is a 1.358. Then we can go as high as a 1.375. So welcome back. So you can see how we were able to predict GBP USD into precision. For last week we had a lot of win trades. Okay, we had a winning trade, 4 winning trades in a row of all signals in which we sent, and a lot of money was actually being made in several different pairs. We sent out trades on gold, on euro, on GBP, which you guys can see, which I'm going to add it somewhere around in this video for you guys to see. Okay, so for last week you can see these areas. We wanted price to continue bullish, okay, which price also went as high as this 100% retracement level, okay, which that is also part of the reasons in which we may be looking for bearishness, because now price is on this resistance levels. Okay, but before then, let's look at the weekly time frame, how price closed. If we can also see similarities with what happened with what is happening on the previous weeks, like so. Okay, so here on GBP USD, okay, we have price closing this tweezer tops kind of candle. Okay, these two bearish candles. So last week also closed with more like a mini doji candle. So we go back to our hourly time frame. Okay, and price is quite seated on a 4-hour resistance area, so it could make things quite easier for us for the coming weeks. Okay, so what do we do in this case? We already have our zones being marked out. We have our upper zones and our lower zones right here. So all what we can do for ourselves is to just wait for price to happen. Okay, you know, we always wait for price to react, to come to us before we react. And we can also see on this resistance zone, we can see price closing there with that hammer kind of candle, doji, whatever you may call it, shooting star, but all we know that it's actually a reversal candlesticks. Okay, so we are seeing price. I'll give you guys bullish and bearish scenarios. Okay, so if price continues bullish, I would not like to buy from here because I'm more like favoring the downside, guys. Okay, so if price continues bullish, we could be going as high as our 1.376 to the upside. And if price goes bearish, which is what I'm favoring actually, okay, we'll be looking forward for price to clear these lows, the support area, which is also as an area of interest, okay, retest there and push continuations to our phase zone, which is the 1.342 area. Let me adjust this a little bit. Okay, 1.34 area. Then that will be it for the bullish and the bearish sides of things. For GBP USD, up next is the DXY. So for the DXY, you can see how price closed for last week. Okay, price opened somewhere around here, went all the way to the upside. I also sent these projections to my people on the general community. I sent it out, and a lot of money was also being made. And you see we had that nice entry, nice exit, and we targeted our 100% retracement level, which gave us almost a 1:3 right about there. You don't have to be greedy. You can see if we did not exit there, or probably we were targeting our TP2, price may most likely have to burn us. Okay, so we may most likely have price come all the way to the downside here. We may most likely have price comes all the way to the downside here, and we could be targeting the 97.6 area, okay, ounce to the downside. Okay, if price continues bearish, okay, but if price continues bullish, okay, it will only make sense we look for bullish side of things. If price breaks here, retest, and then push continuations to the upside, then our next level target would be our daily area of interest, which is our 100 ounce, okay, all the way to the upside. Okay, then let's look at the weekly time frame so we could be ascertained why we are really looking for the upside of things, because price actually on the weekly time frame we can see how price closed. Okay, so this is why I really have cause for concern on the bullish side of things. You can see price closing with that hammer candle, that reversal candle pattern right about there, and it's still reacting off the same zones. Okay, off the same zones of the 97.633. okay, price is still reacting off the same zone. So this is really a big cause for concern for us on the next level targets in which price may be going to. Okay, so that's why I'm still favoring the upsides regardless of things. Okay, but like I said, we have to be patient for price to react, for price to do its thing before we could react. And looking left, we also have a lot of imbalance left there, in which we can also use to our trading advantage. Then this now looks more like a double bottom. Okay, this now looks more like a double bottom for us, so that's nice. That's why if we have a good retest there, then we should be having a change of trend, a total change of trend for the longest of time. Okay, so we actually have on Friday, okay, because if this was to continue this way, price would have most likely gone to TP2 and continue further. But the mere fact that price has to give us something like a double bottom, okay, something like a chart pattern here on the DXY, which we know is used to gauge any other pair that has the USD on it. Okay, and price going back to the upside here. So I actually thought NFP, which this was a Friday candle, would have pushed price further to the downside, and this closed bearish on the last trading day of last week, but that did not happen. Rather, price was going up. Okay, so this is also an indication that price may be more bullish to the upside. Okay, and I think we have CPI on Friday, and this will also help us to determine the actual directional bias of price coming in starting from next week. Okay, so that will be it for the DXY. Up next is USD JPY. So for USD JPY, last week was awesome. We sent some nice trade signals on USD JPY. That's why I told you guys we had a 99% win rate for last week trade calls, in which we sent out to our community. So if you are not at our community, do well to click on the link on the description below to join the free Telegram community, or also join to get a free course like this. And also, if you're watching this video to this very moment, smash that like button and also subscribe. Okay, so moving on for USD JPY, this was straight calls I was saying for last week. A very nice entry, a very nice exit. Like I always say, 100% retracement level is very important. 1:2 plus, and price thereafter, same thing that we're also seeing happening same thing that we're also seeing happening on the DXY. Okay, so this is actually a reason for concern, and price is still reacting off. Looking left, price is still reacting off the same support. And if you look at this same support is made of a chart pattern. Okay, the neckline of the chart pattern. So there's a lot of confirmations, okay, that is trying to push price to the upside. So the little bearishness in which we had last week may most likely be just a pullback or a retracement. What we were trading last week may be a retracement. So from the coming weeks, we may be seeing price total reversals of things on price on most of the page, the USD pace. Okay, so let's look at the weekly time frame, how price actually closed, before we could continue with the analysis to know how the candles actually close. This will also help us as a deciding factor. So looking at here on the weekly time frame, we can see price is still seated right here. Okay, price is still seated right here at this support. So price is still holding that support, that higher time frame support, strongly to its heart. Okay, and we can see the weekly time frame here for last week. Price finally, after having some sort of bearishness, price later closed as a bullish candle. And looking here, you can see multiple week rejections and price pointing to the upside. Okay, so our next target could be these zones of the 14.202. okay, so let's go back to the 4-hour time frames to see how well we can decipher this and make money out of it. Okay, so here on the 4-hour time frame, no gimmicks. Okay, what I'm going to do right now is to extend these zones like so. All right, I'm going to extend these zones like so for us. Okay, so we would most likely be looking for price to give us a sell to buy scenarios. Okay, then we would be targeting 100% retracement level. All right, let me take this out. 100% retracement level, which is going to be our 146. Okay, 146 to the upside. If price continues bullish, I would be only looking for bearishness if price is able to clear these lows. Okay, I would be only looking for bearishness if price is able to clear these lows, which, if that will happen, is going to take a little time, maybe like 2 weeks duration. So I won't actually be looking for the bearish continuations on USD JPY. So for the bullishness, price would most likely come in here, then continue to the upside. Okay, up next is USD CAD. So for USD CAD was an awesome trade, which we also took last week. Price also gave us this nice sales, which we also sent signals on our free Telegram community, and a lot of people were able to make money from our trade calls. Okay, so what I'm going to do right here is mark out these zones like so, and we have this upper zone here, okay, which is this line here. So you could have price continuing back to 100% retracement level, which is these zones like so. Okay, maybe a little retracement to the downside, but for the bullish sides of things, which is what I'm actually favoring, okay, I would only wait for price to clear those areas. Okay, for price to break out of this high, create a new higher high or a double top there, breakout, retest, and we would be looking for our next level, which is our 1.3826 areas. Okay, you have to know how to plot these areas or these zones, guys. That is one of the cheat code to these things. Okay, you have to know how to plot the right zones, the right place, because you guys already know, I like trading off zones. Okay, so I also have a free ebook on trading in the zones, which I also share on the community. So you can join the community, the free community, check on the files options. You are going to see the free ebook on trading on the zones. Then you can also read it. That will also help you on this phase. Okay. Alright, so that will be it for this week, guys. So if you have watched this video to this very moment, please do to smash that subscribe button, like, share, and drop a comment in the comment section. Let's know your thoughts on what price has been doing lately and what you're looking forward to on the new trading week, and how well you can also use this to trading advantage. And let us know any video that you love us to make, forex educational videos, and we'll try as much as possible to make these videos. Okay, always remember to plan your trades and only trade your plan. See you guys next week, and cheers.